to do a what I have planned for 2023 video on what my stitching plans are. But first, can we take a moment? When I get done here, this will make total sense. I've been waiting months to wear this shirt. I had it all planned out. Oh yeah, and PJ pants are in the house. But I thought this is so perfect because there's part of the pile. I have more piled down here and I have more piled over here. So it's going to be a long video, probably. Okay, so I'm not positive exactly how I'm going to share all this, other than I'm just going to kind of start from the top and work my way through the pile. If there's questions, comments, any of that kind of stuff, leave them in the comments below. I do have an entire page with all the detail about 90% of this. I'm still working on getting some of it uploaded to the page, of chart information, fabric information, floss information, all of that kind of stuff. I have it on MousePotatoDesigns.com. If you click on 2023 stitching at the top, you can't miss it. Pretty much anything I just kind of dump over there. So, but again, if you have comments, questions about anything, just leave them in the comments and I'll try to get back to you on them. I recognize, I'll just preface this, that I recognize that normal people probably don't do this. But it makes me feel like I'm in control of my situation to be over-organized and overthinking things. And I really enjoyed 2022, and I really enjoyed getting a whole bunch of things completely finished, framed, and I still need to get them on the wall, but they're framed. And I want to continue that into 2023. And I know everybody tells me I need to relax and I need to just enjoy the process and that kind of stuff. And I always find that kind of interesting, that just because I'd like to get things finished doesn't mean that I don't enjoy stitching to get them finished. And so I'm not sure why those are mutually exclusive to each other, because if I didn't like to stitch, it wouldn't matter if I got them finished. And because my goal is to get them finished, it makes stitching more enjoyable to have a place to go with it. But that's just me. And so, you know, you do you. But so anyways, I recognize that this is a little over the top for most people, but I enjoy it. It makes me productive. I did manage to finish everything that I set out, except for one chart that wasn't a time issue. It was more of just a cluster fling issue. But I will go over that in a video in January. I think I'll do a wrap up in January of everything I stitched in 2022. And if there's anything else you want to see or want to know or whatever, just let me know. But yeah, so for today, we are looking at what I plan for 2023. I have 16 frames filled, I think. Some of them are multi-chart though, so I don't know how. I ended up stitching 42, 43 charts in 2022, and I know that I'm either going to do that many or it'll be a little bit more. I'm not positive, but we'll see how that goes. But as you can see, there's a pile. I have a pile, and we should probably get onto it because the pile's not getting smaller and my time is getting shorter while I have 5 minutes to myself. Okay, and I have found that I really like Russian designers and French designers, Italian designers, all these European and non-American designers, which means that my pronunciation will be shit throughout the entire thing. So on some of them, I'm not even going to try because I don't speak a lick of Italian, Russian, or French at all. Oui? So there's going to be a lot of these people on this. Okay, so let me get this set up and we will get started. Okay, so I don't know why I'm nervous. You'd think I would never have done a video before, but I'm nervous. We're gonna get the focus to work. It's going to. It's. I don't know. Let it go. Let it go. That's what it'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so starting this out, I have a last year I did a little calendar planner looking thing. I'm not doing that again this year because it was really fun, and I got to, play with stickers and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, I didn't really get, there wasn't enough room in it to what words, to track really what I was doing. I really don't care if I stitched on what day and how long I stitched it. What I wanted to see is what details did I use, how did I frame it, how did I stitch it, did I change the colors, that kind of stuff. And so for me, that's what I'm going to focus on this year. And I'm looking over to make sure, because I've got stuff, I'm sitting in a weird position, so it's you'll have to bear with me on that. But anyway, so this year, and I went back and I did this for 2022 also, not quite as detailed as 2023 is going to be, but this is just a 3-ring binder that I got Walmart somewhere. I don't know where I got it. And all that I did is I have all of my charts in here. The originals I have with my stitch right now, but I have all my working charts and that kind of stuff. I do make a copy of it. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I make a copy of it because by the time I'm done with the chart, I have destroyed that chart. They end up folded and crinkled and all kinds of stuff, and I have to have a copy I can just destroy. And then at the end of the year, I'll clean all the copies and that kind of stuff out. That all goes in the trash, and then I've got the originals. But if that's against some rules, I guess I'm done with cross stitching, because I have to be able to just fold it all up and crunch it. But I have no intentions of sharing or any of that kind of stuff. That's wrong. And after doing graphic design for 10 years, I know what it feels like to have something stolen. So there's no way I would do that to somebody else. But anyways, so in the book is my working copy, and I'm not really going to go through the whole book because it's kind of going to be a work in progress, plus there's not a whole lot to really see. I have dividers between each one of the charts that I'm doing, and that basically goes on through the whole book. Okay, so each chart has its own section and that kind of stuff, and you kind of get the gist of, God, I can't wait to start that. You get the gist, all right? And so as I stitch, what I want to do is I want to keep like a swatch of the fabric with it, and a photo, and a finished photo, and what did the charts look like, and all these kind of things. And so all of that's going to end up in here. And what I figured, instead of doing a separate video on just this, as I get it filled in more starting in January, I will try to share it throughout the year. And that way, if things change or anything like that, and there's nothing I can do about this lighting, nothing. So sorry. But as things change and that kind of stuff, you'll be able to see as I go, instead of, well, this is the plan, and it's always different by the end of the year. So that's the base of the binder that I'm working with right now. And then each chart will get an info sheet, and I do have several different kinds of copies of this sheet on my website, MousePotatoDesigns.com. If you go over, you can either hover over the 2023, or I mean, sorry, freebies at the top, and it'll be in a list there, or it'll be on the side bar. But what you want to go down is like chart info sheet, something like that. And when you click on that, there's a PDF, a JPEG, and something else. Oh, an ODG file, which is what I use for Open Office, but I believe you can still open it in Word, I think. I don't know. I have a Mac, so I'm never sure. But anyways, the info sheet looks basically like this. And on the info sheet, I put a picture of the original chart. And then this, like I said, this is going to change. But I put the date I started, date finished, date fully finished. The chart info is, you know, or hashtags. Do I have special hashtags that I want to use for it? Chart info is like the chart name, the chart designer, the chart size, where did I purchase, how much was it gifted to me, that kind of thing. So all of that goes on there. And then I have no, what are we doing here? Is it focusing on my shirt? Because that's okay. Anyways, I also have the floss information. So floss brand, floss colors, changes that I made. And if I have a, come back to me. If I have a, I think I'm going to turn those backlights off. If I have a change to the floss, I'm going to add all of that information on there. Then there's fabric information, you know, brand of fabric, count of fabric, color of fabric, where did I purchase the fabric, what size does the chart need, what size did I have to use with it, what size of my borders, finishing information, plans, actual finish, notes, and then at the end I will have a place for a large photo of what my finish was. So I'll either put that on the, I'll probably put a small one here and then maybe a larger one just as a cover type photo. And so that's pretty much the plan. With each file, I'd like to keep like a little scrap of the material. I thought that would be fun, so you could like see it down the road, what the fabric actually look like. Just stuff like that. If I'm using a special type of floss, I might keep one of the little tags that they come on, things like that. So that's kind of the plan. But so with that, let's get into looking at what the actual charts are I'm stitching for 2023. Okay, so I have 3 smaller frames that I'm using, and then I have all of my large frames that my husband built for me. I even turned that volume completely off. How does that happen? Oh well, whatever. So the first one, and again, this is going to be one of those, I don't know how to pronounce that. But again, all of this information is on my website. But this is the name of the chart and the designer. And I found this chart just wandering around Etsy, and I know there's some big names out there that everybody wants to stitch, and I of course want to stitch them too, but I'm really enjoying wandering around Etsy and finding these small designers that do amazing charts. I have 2 of hers that I'm doing this year, and they're just stitched, charted differently than pretty much anything else that I've ever charted. But I don't have a very good photo of this because she didn't have a very good photo on her listing, but I just thought the whole thing was absolutely adorable. And this is what the chart is going to look like. And you can probably guess why I picked this. You're going to see a lot of sheep this year. And French knots. But anyways, I can't wait to do all those trees and all those sheep in the French knot. I'm going to rechart it so that there's just a little barn in the back instead of the church. And this is the only one that's going to be like 90% French knots, I think. I bought it specifically to do all French knots on it. So I'm very excited about it. I will be stitching that. So let me grab I'm not sure how this is going to go, so hang tight with me. I am going to be stitching that on 18 count Nougat, which is also called Stone Gray by Zagwerts. And it looks like this. And I did my Keep Calm and Cross Stitch by Crochet A Go-Go on this same fabric. But I thought that it would go really well with this chart. And this was one of our sample frames that he made while we were trying to figure out if we could do this. And so I've just been using it. And it's fun because you can move all of my frames. You can move them wider or shorter, wider or narrower, just by moving them with the holes that are in the side. So yeah, so that's the first one. And I can't wait to do it. I am going to do it in the call for colors. They're just regular DMC colors. And you'll find that about 90% of the charts that I think it's focusing on my shirt. That's the problem. Okay, I'm going to adjust that. About 90% of the charts that I'm stitching are using all the same colors-ish. So that's kind of cool, and it made it kind of easy. All right, I'm going to fix that. If you hear jingling in the back, I found a catnip spray and sprayed it all over their toys, and they have gone crazy over them. So you're going to hear jingle, jingle, jingle every once in a while. All right, let me fix that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I think that's going to be better. I think. We'll find out. All right, next one that I have up is Putini. Ah, she's so nice. I love her stuff. She does polymer clay work that is awe-inspiring. I have done many of her charts, and I plan to do many more of her charts. But the one I'm going to do next year, this one was gifted to me by a very nice lady, a cross-stitching friend online, and it is the When I Think of Stitching chart. Oops, helps if I have it up. And for some reason, I just like to stitch her stuff on this raw Aida. And almost all of the stuff that I've done of hers, I've stitched on this. And I just think it's such a pretty fabric to go with her stuff. But yeah, it should finish. I'm not sure what kind of details that you guys all need. So again, all of this will be listed on my website, but I just wanted to kind of share this time with what we're doing. So again, this is the chart. Again, this is the chart that I'm going to be stitching, and it's on 18 count raw linen Aida, and I will be using the called for colors. And if I run into anything and that I'm just like, I don't know about that color, I'm just going to trade it out. But I think it'll be really pretty on this raw Aida. I hope this gets smoother. Y'all are going to be like, wow, she's good. Okay, next one that I have is Tralala. And again, it's going to be some kind of language. I believe she's French. I keep all of my stuff with big magnets. And this is what holds my chart onto my scroll frame when I am stitching, because I like to have the chart basically right above where I'm stitching, because I have found that if I have it like on a clipboard or something like that, by the time I've focused out on that and then focused back, I've lost a whole bunch of time, and I just keep it. That's why my charts are just destroyed by the end of the thing. But this one is going to be fun. This was one of the last ones that I picked up. And again, I believe it's in French. I'm pretty sure it's in French or Italian. And I just, well, yeah. You can see why. But that is the name of the chart. And I plan on not using any of the call for colors, because I was kindly gifted two sets of colors from Tom and Lily Designs Creations, not Designs, Creations. And I thought they just went so well with this chart that's kind of in the shiny, that I'm just going to use those. And I am going to be using a leftover piece of parchment from Dying to Cross Stitch, and it is gonna, I think it's gonna be very, very pretty. It's got all the different tones of the pinks for the flowers, and I think that that's gonna work good. So that one. The other thing is that when people get really oh my God, how are you going to stitch all that? That's too much. Not all of these charts are very big. So so far we're looking at 3 charts here that are all like 5 by 5 when they're done, and so it doesn't take very long. I mean, they're not very big. So even if they're on a big scroll frame, that doesn't mean that it's going to take forever to stitch them. But my plan is in January to right now I have about 2 days per chart, and I'm going to see how far I can get in those 2 days, and then I'll reevaluate, how they go throughout the year. But in general, you kind of get the feel of how far you can get, how much time you need, that kind of thing. I don't stitch all day. I usually stitch a couple hours in the morning, maybe a couple hours before bed. But my stuff just sits out on a rack, and so I can just sit down and put a line in anytime I walk by and I have 5 minutes free. So that's usually how I stitch. Okay, so that is my 3 smaller ones, and they all, I can use in my standing frame. I can use any size thing, so I can go down to little tiny frames and everything. So that makes it really nice. But that is my 3 smaller frames, if you will. Let me grab the bigger stuff over there, and we will move on to the next part of it. Alrighty, I only moved half the pile because they were heavier than I thought. So we'll start with half. All right, so the next ones that I have, they're all on my big scroll frames that my husband built for me. I have pictures, explanations, what the clips are, what the frames are, what we made with them. All of the details about that are on my website. Again, MousePotatoDesigns.com, and you just click on scroll frames at the top, and all of it's there, and I share it all. You can go ahead, build it, steal it, whatever. You get. People are always like, "Can I use that idea?" Sure. Thank you for asking, but most people just steal it. So if you don't want it stolen, don't put it online, kind of thing. But anyways, the next one or the first big one up is Jardin Privé, and this was gifted to me by Sandra Potter. Her Etsy, her Instagram is Spotters17. I have been looking for this chart for about a year, and she gifted it to me. That was so nice. Anyways, I have all of the information, and that's why I wanted to do these info sheets, so I could remember who gave me what, where did I get it, that kind of thing. And it just makes it really nice so that I know because I have the memory of an ant and attention span of a 2-year-old. So good luck. Anyways, this was a PDF, and so I have it printed out. Ignore quality. And this is the chart. Again, couldn't tell you what those words are to save my life. Don't care. But look at this chart. It has sheep. It has cats. It has stitching. It's got, the works. Is it not the cutest thing? I saw it, had to have it. Of course, I couldn't find a paper copy anywhere of it. So it was so nice when she gifted it to me, and I'm just so grateful. I am going to be stitching it on 18 count oatmeal rustico, Ada by Zagwerts. And I love, this is probably my favorite, that and the oatmeal from Loops and Threads that you can get like at Michael's. I love just this natural color with like the little specks of darker color and stuff. This is, out of all the stuff that I have, I hand dyed all of these kind of things, which are all beautiful. I really just like this. And if I had to pick just one fabric to stitch on, it would be this. The other thing I thought I'd share is I have all of them, you got just crazy strings here, but I have all of them marked where the first starting corner is. And so I don't even have to figure that out when I sit down to start. I just, boom, go. And so that is going to be the first big scroll frame. They're in no order. I have no idea how I'm going to stitch these. So, but I am so excited to stitch this chart. It was just so cute. Sheep, cats, sewing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Next one up. This one I bought, oh my gosh, not too long after I started cross stitching. And, I loved all the fancy stitches in it. I loved the sheep, and it is Stitching Notes by Shepherd's Bush. And I love this. I just think this is the cutest thing ever. And I'll try to get, let's see, there we go. I don't have the buttons or any of that kind of stuff for it, and I'm not going to do the buttons. I have to put almost everything I have under glass because dust bowl, and yeah. So everything needs to go under glass. But I will be stitching this on the loops and threads oatmeal. And I could show you how close actually these two are to each other. So this is the loops and threads that you can get at, no, this is not. This is the loops and threads. See, this is why you have to take notes. Okay, so the Jardin Provane one was the Rustico. This is the loops and threads that you can get at Michael's. And as you can tell, they look so similar. So I'll be stitching the stitching notes on that with I am doing the call for colors on it, but it is the DMC conversion, not the fancy floss version. And then I thought this was a good example to show you that the reason that I use the clips and the twill tape is it doesn't matter what size I put on here. I hook it to the top of the bar and the bottom bar, and then I can just stretch. And they're like, doing. What is that military saying? You can bounce a quarter off of them. Yeah, that's how I like to. I am not a soft stitcher. There is nothing more annoying to me than if my fabric pulls and gives and squishes and slouches and all of that. And I just, I do not like that. And a lot of the hand dyed stuff is that way. And so I like to just stretch it out when I get it and put it on. When I put it on the frames, I like pull it out. Okay, anyways, there you go. The next one that I have is Little House Needleworks. Oh, so cute. Little House Needleworks, what is your name? My Sheep. This is not a newer chart. This has been out for a while. And the reason that I have not finished the Little Sheep Virtues that I stitched in 2022 is I'm not sure if I'm going to put the sheep in the meadow with it or if I'm going to put this one with it. This is also going to be a really weird stitch because it is really long, like long. And so it's actually going to end up longer than my scroll frame, which is, these are 22 inches. So that's long. And so what I do when that happens is I just fold the fabric up on one end. I fold the fabric up on one end, and then I'll stitch from, whoops, I'm stuck down here, from this end all the way up, but it'll be on the thing like, you know, like normal. So it'll be on this, but I'll stitch from this side all the way to about here, and then I'll unhook it from the top, move it over, and finish stitching it. And so that's how I'm going to stitch that. The fabric that I'm using for this is Picture This Plus. This is 16 count. This is the only 16 count. And the only reason I'm stitching it on 16 count is because my Little Sheep Virtues and all that were done on 16 count. So I wanted to have it all look the same. And the color is Legacy. And so that's that chart. I'm going to try to pick up the pace because y'all, I can yammer for hours. But again, I have my little sheet for it with all of my, you know, things. I have my, I'm gonna put it back here because this is my copy. Like I said, I fold them all up and I put them it'll be magnetized to my fabric right above where I stitch, so that it's right in, I only have to look up a couple of inches instead of a long ways to focus. Okay, this is again by that French/Italian. That's so rude. I really am. I hope nobody gets disrespected because I really don't mean it. I don't know how to even start to figure it out. And then I put it in like the pronunciation thing. Well, that just sounds weird. So, yeah. Anyways, the next chart is by that first one with the French knots for the trees and the sheep. And this chart though is, I'll hold up the information for you here. And then here's the chart information. And again, it's on my website, but look at this chart. There it goes. Aren't they sweet? I just thought they were so cute. I want to just do one of them and have it as my profile picture. But I just think it's so cute. They finished it on this bag. I don't have that kind of skill, so I don't know. I'm probably going to frame it, but I don't know. It'd be really cute on a project bag, something like that. But the stitches, this is another one that I have folded over because, and that's printed this small. Yeah, it is 16.5 inches wide. Just the chart is 292 inches wide, or 292 wide by 91 high, which breaks down to about 16 inches wide and 5 inches tall. So it's not going to be a tiny one. But I can't wait. I can't wait to stitch it. It's so cute. It just, I'm very picky about the mice because MousePotatoDesigns, of course, but some of them look like rats. And some of them are like weird shaped, and so I'm picky about the way the mice are. So if it looks like a rat to me, I won't stitch it, even if they call it a mouse, because it doesn't look like a mouse to me. But anyways, the fabric that I'm going to be using this is Dying for Cross Stitches Dust Bunnies 18 count, and I just think it's going to be perfect. And you can't see all of the variations very well in it, but it's such a pretty, it literally looks like dust bunnies. I crack up because it's got that gray undertone of like dust with the brown and stuff. And I say that all with, it's very pretty, but so that should be a lot of fun. And I'm a little intimidated by it because there's a lot of open space, and that's scary because I guess you don't have to have it perfect, I guess, if there's a lot of open space, so that's kind of nice. So anyways, that's that one. And I'm very excited about that. The next one, y'all knew I was going to stitch this. Y'all knew that I was going to stitch this because I have to stitch it. I did the Spring in the City in 2022, and then 2023's is going to be Crochet Go-Go's Fall in the City. Because I have to. I don't know if I'll do a story with it or not. Spring in the City kind of had us talk to me, and Fall in the City, it's very one season, and so I'm not really sure how to make that story last throughout the whole thing. But I'm going to be using her call for colors, probably moving them all around. But I can't wait to stitch it. And then on her, I'm using Fiber on the Whim Earth for hers. And I got brave and decided to just go for it. And it is dark, really, really dark. But I thought it would go really, really well with this chart. I know that there's a lot of browns in this, but none of them are the same tone as this. And so they shouldn't blend too much. And if they do, I'll just pick a different brown from my stash. But I just think it's going to be, this fabric just kind of screamed fall to me. And I thought it would go really good with this. And you know, be brave and bold and or go home, right? It's, yeah, not the quote, but you get my point. So that is going to be it. And again, by the time I get done, this will probably be just destroyed. But I can't wait to stitch that. I did learn my lesson on Spring in the City though, and I will do the border at the same time I'm stitching everything so it all lines up. That was a train wreck. But I just think that fabric's going to be gorgeous. Gonna be gorgeous. I do really like Fiber on the Whim. I don't know how much more of it I will buy. I have almost all the neutral colors. I wish, dying for cross stitch, I wish she would do a lot more neutral colors because I love her work. And anyways, so the next one I have, and this one, I think I may change my mind on it because I have an idea for it to do it different. Anyways, the next one that I have is Matter in Hand by Jeanette Douglas. And as soon as I saw it, I ran off and bought it because I had to. But it is so cute. But it's got in all different languages. It has cross-stitching, I think is what it says, in all different languages. But that's not what I'm going to do. I have a quote that I don't think I wrote it down here. I think it's on my other notes. But I want to do a quote where the words are. And I'm kind of thinking about doing it as a really long, like instead of having them 4 lines above it, 2 lines, and then take this bottom and come out this way with it so that it's just 2 lines. So it'd be an odd shaped frame instead, because I kind of like to break up all the normal size that I have. And I just thought that'd be kind of fun. So we'll see if I have to move my fabric around, because as it is right now, it's 7.5, so 8 inches wide. So I should have plenty. I should have plenty of fabric to be able to go across, but I just thought that'd be kind of cool. And then do a quote about cross stitching with it instead of doing all the different words. What I will end up doing, I have no idea. You're gonna find out at the same time I will. But that's my general plan for it, is to do to move the thing around a little bit and add the quote. Now I don't know for sure if I'll move the sections around, but for sure there's going to be a quote. The fabric that I'm using is Picture This Plus 18 count Aida in the color Wren. And so I should have just left this out, but that's okay. But this is what Wren looks like, and it's another really nice neutral. And again, you can tell I have it folded over because I'm stitching it. All of the fabrics that I buy fit, well, let me set this down. All the fabrics that I buy fit the width, because most of them that I buy are 18 inches. So they always fit. But like this one, I wanted it to be longer instead of taller. And so instead of running it so that I'm going this way, the stitch is actually gonna go that way, or the fabric goes that way, so that I can just move it over as I need to get to it. So I have just folded it over and put a running stitch in it so it won't get all flubbled up over the time. And then as I finish going from here this way, I'll just unfold it, move it over, fold this side up, and that's how I will continue to stitch on it. But it's a very pretty color. I get all of my Picture This Plus fabric from crossstitchingsupplies.com. Lindsay usually has those, or I get them from 123 Stitch. I got all of my Fiber on the Whim from Fat Quarter Shop, and then the rest of it's in various places. But again, all that information should be online, or just give me a holler if there's something you're looking for in particular. I will get you the information. All right, how we doing? Okay, I'm gonna have to take a break here in a sec because my camera's gonna go, dude. But let's do this next one because I'll have to go get those pretty soon anyways. This next one is the only seasonal one that I have. Actually it's two, but the first part of it is going to be a seasonal chart, and I'm doing the Jardin Privé, the 4 seasons that she has. And I'll show you this way because I'm doing both of these on the same fabric. So as I finish one, I will then do the other one. I won't take it off the frame, I'll just keep rolling. The other one is a Jardin Privé, and I don't, something sheep or something, but anyways, it's got little sheep in it and that kind of stuff. So that is the other one that I will be doing, and I'm doing both of these on this same piece of fabric. The fabric is, well, I've got it, all my information here, Fiber on a Whim Silver Fox, which I don't think is silver on any level. I think it's green, but you know, whatever. It's still very, very pretty, and that looks like this. Now in the camera it's going to look a little more blue, but in person it's a minty, more along the minty green color. But I thought that would work really good for the 4 seasons, and I thought it would also work really good for the sheep one. And yeah, that's that fabric there. But all right, so how we doing? You still with me? Hang on, we're getting there. I told you it's going to be a long one. I'd break this up, but I just want it all in one and done. And so let me get all of this switched around, and I will be right back. Go get a drink, because that's where I'm headed, is get coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, coffee is gotten. Anybody else hate when you go to put milk in something? Doesn't matter if you're a coffee drinker or not, if you use milk. And you grab it out of the refrigerator and you go, and you pour it, and there's like driblet. It's like the toilet paper with the last square left on the roll. Anyways, did you get something to drink? Because we're only about halfway. Are you done with this? You're like, why are we doing this? If you guys make it to the end, I should do some kind of like special something. Because it's a long one. But again, if you guys don't want to listen to all this jibber jabber, okay? All of this information is on my MousePotatoDesigns.com. The only thing that's not on there yet are pictures of like the fabrics and that kind of stuff, because I haven't officially started, and I figured my first picture would be these. So if you want to follow me on Instagram or MousePotatoDesigns on Facebook, both of them are MousePotatoDesigns. I'm MousePotatoDesigns since 1994, I think, 96, something like that. So you can find me everywhere. I share all of everything, everywhere. And so if there's something that, if you want to follow me on one of those, then you can. If you don't use those, you don't have to sign up for an account to view any of them. All of my stuff is public. So you do you, boo. On that, I personally would be lost without Instagram. Facebook, but not so much. But Instagram, I love Instagram. I like all of them. I like to be in the know. There's stupid, crappy people out there no matter what. So you might as well enjoy what you're using. All right, next one is another Jardin Privé. I'm having a Jardin Privé a year, I guess, because I've got a lot of them. But I love her style. And that Tra-la-la-la lady that designs for that, who's that? She's gonna be on my hit list for 2024, because I had no idea and tripped over that chart that I found of hers, and now I have to go and buy all of hers because they're so cute. Anyways, this one is, I don't know how she pronounces it, but I call it calendar. And this is what it looks like, and I will be stitching each one of these monthly. And so I will finish the last one in December, and that's how I plan to stitch it, is monthly. The fabric I'm going to be used for this one is Color and Cotton 18 count aged paper. And so it looks like this, and I think that will be very pretty. She used more of an orangey brown, and I don't know what color that was. Let's see. Vintage Country Mocha. Oh, then the photograph just took a weird picture, because that's not what that fabric looks like. But anyway, so I thought this would work nice, and I had it in my stash, so I'm going to use that. And so that's my monthly one. And let's see, I think I can, no, maybe one of the other ones that's coming up. I'll show you kind of how I divide it. It's hard to do and then not show you the chart. But for the most part, I divide it up by natural divisions. So like the calendar one has a month, you know, monthly boxes. Most charts, if they're more than one page, come in pages. So I will look at the page and I will say I can probably do this much. But like I said, January is my tester month, and so that will tell me how far I can go. I use January as my tester month because it's Montana and snowing and I ain't going nowhere. So I have plenty of time to play with this. The next one that I'm doing, y'all, I am a stitching through the years nut, fanatic, stalker, poor Alana. She's got to feel eyes on her all the time. Because I'm just like stalking her. When are you coming out with the next one? I need more. Anyways, I am doing 4, maybe 5 of her charts this year. I have a December one that I might do. And I hope she keeps coming out because she's got this new series going and I am in love. But anyways, this one's not part of the series, but I'm gonna stitch them all kind of with similar flosses because I kind of want to hang them all together and frame them all together, even though this one's a different shape. But the first one this one is Stitching Through the Years, Summer in the Country. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I want to live there. Yep, I want to live there. I pretty much saw all of these charts from her and was like, I couldn't even say this looks great because I was so busy. I need to just be on auto ship. Anyways, this is Summer in the Country by Stitching Through the Years. I am going to be using all of the call for flosses as best that I can. I had a little trouble getting the blue, the blue, and so we'll see if I can get that before I start stitching, but if not, she gave me suggestions on different blues to use. All of that is on the Facebook, on my website, so that if you need a trade out. I am stitching it on Fiber on the Whim, 18 count, Milk and Honey, and this is the only one I'm stitching on a different color fabric. It coordinates with the other one, but because this is not part of the series, I'm stitching it on a different color. This one is getting stitched on Milk and Honey, and I think it will be perfect. Just perfect. And I am I am so excited to start these. If you do not like French knots, I am going to just warn you now that you probably are going to hate everything pretty much that I'm stitching this year, because last year I tried to be kind of good on most of them, and so I did mostly just the sheep. Not this year. If I can get a French knot in there or a specialty stitch, that's what's going to happen, because I just having so much fun with all the texture that I need to do all the things. But all right, another Jardin Privé, and this one I had no idea this was all one chart. And then I'm in her Facebook group, and this lady posted her finish of this square chart, and I'm like, is that? And it ended up being 3 charts that all went together, and I was like, and when I saw them individually, I was like, they're cute, it's pretty, I like parts of it, but when I saw that lady stitch this all together, I instantly had to order it because it's gorgeous. I'm gonna try to figure out how to, yeah, okay, so this is the entire, there we go. The entire thing. All right. But it's in 3 different charts, and it's composition floral, something in French or Italian. Anyways, here are the 3 charts that it comes with. So it is this chart. And yes, I'm changing all these alphabets out to something else because there's no way I can stitch 5,000 alphabets. I can't do it. It's like stitching white. Life is too short. So I'm going to put quotes or something else in there. And I recognize that those are words, letters, just like an alphabet, except for the fact that they actually say something when you're done. And there's something about stitching ABC a bazillion times that I can't. I just can't do it. Anyways, this is the second chart in it. And then this is the third chart. And I love the kitty. I gotta figure out how to get another kitty in there because, and the bunny. Because it'd be nice if I had Benny and Sophie represented. Okay, so here's kind of like, this is a good one to show you how I kind of judge how long it's gonna take me. So this one, if I figured it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have this one mentally done for 10 months. And so I just basically, I took all the boxes, the small boxes I would count as 1 month, but like the footer box and the header box, that would be 2 months, and the center box would be 2 months. Now, do I know if it's going to take me that long? Not until I get done in January. But it may get faster, it may get slower. Some of these charts are tiny, or not tiny, but smaller. So when they get done, that frees up those hours for me to put towards these bigger charts. But this one is going to be a biggin. It's going to be 13 by 13 on 18 count Ada. And so I'm so excited to stitch this one. I'll be honest, there's very few of them that I have this year that I'm like, it's gonna be fun. No, I'm like, it's been hard to wait. People ask me, how do you wait? Because I also really love that feeling of saying finished and being done. And so for me, it's like, I just got to stitch faster so I can get to the finished, and then I can start another one. Okay, I am doing this on Fiber on a Whim brown sugar. And this is what this fabric looks like. And I think it's very neutral. The colors, the one thing about Jardin Privé's charts, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but her charts are, colors are off when she has them in her prints like this. They're not even close, because like the fabric that's called for in this is, what is the called for fabric? I don't know. Cream Belfast. And Cream Belfast, in my opinion, isn't yellow like that. But when I saw the lady that I had to buy this because of, she did it in the call for colors, and these are all light pinks. If you know DMC 223 and 224, that color of pink. And so I think that brown sugar will work really well on that fabric. Okay, my next great ginormous big one, I am actually not, it's a 4-part chart, but I'm not stitching all 4 parts. There was a 4th part that has a lady that is, she has a spinning wheel, and I just didn't feel like that represented. I guess I could have left the spinning wheel out, but then why is the lady just sitting there? And I couldn't figure out what to replace like her whole chunk with, and so I'm just going to leave it off. But this is the next great big one that I'm doing, and it will probably take me a year. And again, I would just divide these boxes up either by 1 month or split them so they're over a couple of months. And this end one is the one I'm not doing. So let me get them in order here. All right, so the first one is this chart. How cute! How cute! This is the second chart. Every time I see this part of it, I think of Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, you know, blah, blah, blah. And the counting the sheep and all of those those nursery rhymes that we all knew as a kid growing up. That makes me think of that. I think it's hilarious. And then this one's probably got my favorite box in it, though. Those sheep that are stacked on top of each other are life. I almost want to put big white eyeballs on the one on the top, like he's like, ah! But yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fluffy sheep going on, and I'm there for it. I can't wait. I can't wait. I literally got to find a wall to put all my sheep on because there's gonna be sheep all over the place, and I don't know why. I have nothing in my life that has anything to do with sheep, and that may be why I like it, because they're cute, they're fluffy, and I have nothing. It's just a fun thing to stitch. Anyways, I am going to be stitching that on Picture This Plus 18 count Legacy. And weirdly enough, this does not look like the other Legacy that I have, which is fine, but it's darker. But anyways, this is the fabric that I'm going to be stitching it on. And this is another one of those that is folded, because it is, let me set this over here. The whole chart, once it's stitched, is 13.5 inches wide. But in order to get the border, I want a 3-inch border on this because I want it to have a little more space. I had to do it this way. There's a method to my madness. I don't know what it is, but when I figure it out, I'll let you know. All right, here comes my next favorite. Yet another Stitching Through the Years. She came out with a series this year that, I mean, if you have not bought it, why? Come stitch them with me. Come be obsessed. Okay, this one is Strawberry Harvest by Stitching Through the Years, and Lana has done this whole series of these. There's 3 of them now, and oh my gosh, I am there for them. I don't know what attracts me to them. They're okay, yeah, it's got sheep. I can't even tell you if the other ones have sheep, but there's something that just attracts me with her style. And I mean, I like a lot of stuff, but there's something about hers that it's like I have a need to stitch it. But I'm so excited to stitch them. I have all of them so far. All right, so all of them are going to be stitched on Fiber on the Whim 18 count Affogato from Fiber on a Whim. And that looks like this. And these colors, I'm not doing the call for colors because she charted all these charts in DMC, which is normally would be just fine, but I want them to kind of all carry through. So like the houses, I want them to all be the same color, like it's the same house in different seasons. So I'll be coloring them with the same flosses. And so like if there's grass, I'm going to use the same green throughout them, and so on and so forth. But like the strawberries are the point. I gotta make sure I'm still got battery, are the point of the stitch. And so I will use as close as I can get or I will use the call for on the point of it, which is the strawberries. And then so on and so forth for the rest of them. But they will all be stitched on this Affogato. So they can all be, I'm going to try to find frames just like what she used to, because, and I rarely see frames in finishes and think, oh, I really want to do that too. But in those, I want to do that. And you'll see the rest of them, but I'm very excited about that one. Okay, I have one more that's on a frame, and then I have my pile of, we'll talk about it. Okay, last one I have is another Jardin Pavé. It's the way it goes. This one, I don't know why I liked this one, but as soon as I saw it, I had to go get it. It's stitching a whole bunch of houses, which is not my favorite part to stitch. The whole thing is an entire alphabet. I don't like to stitch alphabets either, but there was something about this that was so unique, and it is this one. I just think that is so unique. I've never seen anything like it. Doesn't mean there isn't. I've not run across anything like it, and that's my kind of alphabet. And so I thought for fun, I don't normally stitch on white because I don't know, white makes me itch. But I thought this one would be really fun to stitch on an opalescent, and I got brave and I'm doing it in 20 count, which is stupid. It'll be 1/1, but I wanted this to be little. But I'm using Witchell 20 count opalescent white. So when it's done being stitched, it'll be 8.5 by 6 inches. Otherwise it was going to be really big, and I don't know. I didn't want to do it really big. But anyways, this is the fabric that I'm doing it on, and my camera's probably going to freak out, but I'm trying to see. Can you see the shiny? I just thought that'd be fun. I don't know. I have a piece of raw linen that's also opalescent like this, but the green in it really comes out, and so I haven't used it for anything because I don't like it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. But so that is the last one that I have strung up on my scroll frames. I have one that will be added onto it because I have to get finished with my shabby winter calendar for 2022. That frees up that frame, and then I'll get it strung, and then I will be ready to go. All right, so let's pause here so that I can make sure this recorded, because wouldn't that be bad? And then I will be right back. I have this. There is more to show. Okay, let's see how far I can get before my battery dies, because I was an idiot and didn't put a new battery on the charger. Anyways, okay, I wanted to show you real quick. Okay, 2023 binder, 2022. Woo! There it goes. And this one's not as neat. This is just tossed in there. I haven't cleaned it out for the year or anything like that. And then 2024 is highly decorated. Yeah, but it's filling up. All right, so that is the binders. All right, the last chart that I have, well, I have two charts, but that will be going on the Affogato with the Stitching Through the Year set, and I'm waiting for my other frame to be empty so I can load it. So let me just get all this out of here. The next one is Happy Harvest, again, Stitching Through the Years on that same fabric. And then this one, I'm going to go ahead and start on a second piece of the Affogato that I have because she keeps coming out with more. So when whoever's first to get done, I'm going to just roll it and do this one that she just came out with. Isn't it adorable? Oh my heavens. I love it. Love it. So all of these will be stitched on Affogato, and I'm probably going to order another piece of this just so I have it in case she comes out with more. For the Happy Harvest, sorry, mess, for this one with the orange, none of the other charts have an orange in it, and I was sent these by Tom and Lily Creations, and so I luckily has a whole bunch of oranges in it. So I'm going to use those along with the same colors from the other charts to stitch the orange pumpkins on that. All right, so that's pretty much the cross stitch charts that I have planned. I do have a couple runner-ups that might happen if I get time, but we'll have to see towards the end of 2023 how that all works out. I don't know if I'll have time, so I'm not going to even kit them, chart them, nothing. I do want to, in 2023, keep working on my embroidery projects that I'm working on. And then I was going to start some other embroidery projects I don't know how these will, I don't know if I'll start these or not. The first one is this one, and I have to see, January will tell me a lot of how far I can stitch and how fast I can stitch. The other thing about these embroidery projects is it's not really, to me, they're not really like cross stitch. It's like once you start going on them, you kind of need to keep going so you're in the rhythm of, you know, doing embroidery instead of crosses, if you will. The other one that I have to do is this one. So we'll see how the year goes. I would like to get these done, and if I can get my shit together enough to get uber organized. I know this looks uber organized, but it's really just a flyby of the seat of my pants, stitch what I can kind of thing. So if I can figure out how January is going to go, then I'll add in my embroidery projects, and I have sewing projects that I would like to do. So I have I found this pattern for these little mice, these little stuffed mice. So I want to do that. I have a I want to make a thread holder, an ort holder, I guess they call it. And I saw this pattern for this. It's a free PDF pattern for this little bag, and I thought it would work really good to hang off of my stitching frame, my floor frame. And so I'm gonna try to make that because I want to learn to use my sewing machine. I bought this sewing machine, and I want to do more than just sew up the edge of cross-stitching fabric. I don't want to become a quilter. I don't have space for that. But I wouldn't mind doing like little quilts or little things like mug rugs and things like that. So one of the ones that I would like to try is something like this. It's just a little mug rug. So I would like to do that. And then I have like fabrics and stuff. And I'm not really getting too detailed in any of this because it's kind of in maybe. I did want to try a quilt block. I found this bee fabric, and I thought this would be a cute block to it says it's a beginner, but there's really good instructions and stuff, and so I thought that would be fun. And I have this bee fabric that I want to use on it, so we'll see how that goes. And then I'm just completely intimidated. It's like learning a whole new language, and I'm just intimidated. I want to, but I'm intimidated. And then the last two that I have is I want to make one of these little mug rug thingies, but what I want to do is turn this into like a pin cushion. I thought that'd be cute. And then I also have this other cat one because I have this cat fabric I found and I want to use. Where'd it go? Hold on. Here it is. And it looks like that. And I thought that was just really, really cute. I also have some gnome projects. This was the fabric. A couple of gnome projects that I meant to get done this year, and I don't think that's going to happen, that I would like to try, and not enough hours. No, there are enough hours. I need to quit sitting on the couch and reading my book and just listen to my book so I can get more done. That's what I need to do, because I have time, and then I'm like, I get mad at myself because I'm like, you could have been doing all of these things at the same time. And so I really want to push myself in 2023 to get creative and finish and start projects that I'm scared of. And I really want to learn to use my sewing machine. And I set up a whole table for it over there that you can't see that I want to do. And so there's so many things I want to do. And I know there's not enough time, but I also know that I can get way more done in my day than I have been, and I would like to try. I mean, there's something to be said for sitting and relaxing and reading your book. I'm not dissing that, but I can do that at night when I'm too tired to stitch. But anyways, that is, yeah, that is my 2023 plan. I don't know how much of it will happen. I have had the best time in 2022 with my adventures, and I hope it's been inspiring to people. I hope that if nothing else, you've gotten a huge chuckle out of it. And there's a lot of people that have left me amazing messages about things. I don't want anybody to do it exactly the way I do it, because I don't think anybody should do that, because you're not me, and my brain works differently than everybody else's. But if I see inspiration every single day, and there are tidbits of that that I try to take and turn it into my Felicia way. And I hope that there's something that you see that I'm sharing that you could turn it into your way. I have Shabby Winter calendar to finish up this year, and then 2022 is complete for me. I do have some little projects to fully finish, and I'm hoping to have a little more time in the upcoming weeks to do that, and we'll just see how 2023 goes. So I hope you'll be along on the adventure. Again, if you have questions or comments, suggestions, whatever, if you're nice, I listen to it. Good or bad. If you're an ass, I block you. I don't have time. I don't have time, mental space time, to deal with, oh my God! No, listen, if you have that kind of time in your life, find a hobby, because obviously the ones that you have don't fill your time enough. So be kind, be nice, give support, cheer people on. You don't have to like it. It's not you. What you have to appreciate is how much they like it. And that to me is the whole part of this community that I love. I also will be keeping up with my bygone stories journals of my past, and my Fobonichi journal, which is tidbits of my day. It's been so fun to meet a whole bunch of new people that are joining with that. Remember, if you don't write it down, it's gone forever. I will see you after this video. I have December's Flosstube to do, but I'll see you in the new year. How much are you going to get done this next year? Will it be on your wall, or on your display, or will it be in a bag? We'll find out. Thanks for being here, you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!